Alrighty, my friends, welcome back. Thank you for joining. It's always nice to see all the familiar faces and our little stretch community. You can lay down to get started. Sorry if you popped up already. Lay back, relax, settle in for a moment. Haven't seen you in weeks. Maybe you haven't had time to stretch. Hopefully you start to make stretching and moving a little bit more of a priority for you. A little bit every day can go a long way. Everybody in the back hear me okay? No. And stretch out, roll your ankles a little bit, stretch your arms up overhead. Breathe in, settle in, exhale completely, get that stale air out of the bottom of your lungs. Maybe first time you intentionally breathed like that today, so you could sigh it out and get all the air out of the bottom of your lungs. Just little movements to get started. If you feel some extra energy kind of flowing up and down your body, you can start hugging in your knees and stretching out. Breathing out, bringing the knees in. Breathing in, stretching the legs out. As always, use this time for your body, for your mind, soothe your soul. Listen to my cues. Do what feels good. Let's all hug in the right knee. You decide if you want the left leg long or bent. As long as there's no pain, you could pull a little extra as we get warmed up. And a lot of my cues will be alignment cues to keep your joints safe and stretch in the best way possible. Keep your chin in towards your chest. Hugging that knee in up towards the shoulder. Take another breath. Right leg up to the sky. Grab where you can. If that's too big of a split stretch, remember you can bend your left knee. Point and flex your right ankle. Roll it in the sky. Get some blood flow. You can always bend the right knee a little bit. Open it out to the side so you're doing a half straddle. You can switch your grip, grab where it feels right. Open it out as big as you can, maybe closer to the floor, pulling it up towards your shoulder. And hug that right knee back in. Enjoy that little pinch on the hip as you pull that knee in, get a big stretch for your hip flexor. And then find a full body stretch, lengthen it out. And remember, if you like to modify and have bent knees or use other options along the way, just make those adjustments. Left knee in, give it a squeeze. Decide if you want your right knee bent. We're just getting started. Practice your breathing. In through the nose and out through the nose if you can. Get out of your head. Enjoy the time here tonight, stretching and moving together. This positive little circle. Chin in, pull that knee in. And you can lengthen up the left leg towards the sky. Grab where you can. And always working with your body. If you're compromising your alignment, maybe you want to bend the right knee so you can really pull that left leg. Rolling the ankle, getting those blood vessels to work a little extra. See how it feels to open that left leg out to the side. Letting it go towards the ground, continuously pulling it up towards the shoulder. Back up to center, hug it back in, breathe, squeeze a little bit more, and stretch it out. Long legs, long arms, big breath. Make sunshine rays or snow angels, whatever you're into, arms down by your side. Sunshine rays, snow angel, back up a couple times. Maybe the back of your hand grazes the ground the whole time. Seeing how your shoulders feel, hitting all those angles. Our first practice tonight, maybe noticing a spot where your shoulder kind of pops up or it doesn't feel as great as other angles. And just notice. And then as we stretch along the weeks, it might loosen out, some tension might be released. Arms down by your side, slide your heels up towards your seat so your knees are bent, heels close. Start at the bottom of your spine, peel your spine up to bridge, lifting your hips up to the sky, lifting your spine up as high as you can, heels connected with the earth, hip bones up to the ceiling, chin in, heart up. If you're getting up pretty high, maybe squeeze your hands underneath. Hold it up there, build a little heat. Remove your hands if you have it, and roll that spine down. Top to bottom, hips reach for your heels. Try it 3 times with your breath, lifting up, peeling lower spine up to the top. Take your time, peeling up, pause at the top, heels underneath the knees. And as you exhale, lower down, you have to keep your hips kind of tucked up until the lower back hits the ground, and then your hips go down, reaching for the heels to lengthen the spine. Take another round. Lower down. And stretch both feet up to the sky. Footprints on the ceiling. Grab where you can. If you have yoga blocks, perfect. You can keep your hips up. If you want to elevate your hips a little bit, feel free to slide a block underneath there. If you have the ability, maybe picking up your seat and then lowering it down. You could just think about it. Hanging out here, a couple breaths, stretching your hamstrings, roll out your ankles. The reclined version of folding over and reaching for your toes so your back is straight. It's okay if your knees are bent a little bit. Grab them where you can, pulling those shins towards your face. Stretch your legs out wide, big straddle in the sky. You can grab your legs wherever it makes sense for a little extra support or maybe a little extra pressure. Everyone's good. Big straddle. Just bend your knees. So your knees look like the letter L, happy baby. Bottoms of the feet up to the sky. Take some rocks side to side. Massage that lower back. Open your hips. Spine straight, chin in. Body feeling good. All those good chemicals. Giving your body that medicine. Hug your knees back in, both together, in towards the chest, big toes touching. Maybe you want to massage that lower back into the ground a little bit. Give your back some love. Take your arms out to T. You can keep your knees up with your own power if you can. Let your knees fall over to the right. Big twist. You can look to the left. Big breath. As you're ready, belly button in, pull those knees back in. Feet are off the floor ideally, and let your knees fall over to the left. Look to the right. Take a breath. You can let your legs fall when you get to one side, and then use your power. Lift it back up, twist back over to the right. Look to the left. Breathe. And over to the other side. Knees to the left. Look to the right. Let your bottom leg fall. Enjoy that twist. Back to center. We're going to slowly make our way up to our feet. You can roll over to one side. Slowly press yourself up to a seated position. You can take your time. Let the blood flow. Practice coming up to your feet. Not touching the floor would be ideal. Finding a little transition for yourself where you swing your legs, maybe get on your knees, use your leg muscles. Perfect. Stand up tall. 10-15 minutes of laying down movement. Feels good, right? Got some blood flow, hips feel a little looser. Practice our breathing, got our rib cage big. Always good to remember, even if you only have a few minutes, it's always beneficial to move. Even laying down, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Come up to the top of your mat, standing up tall. We'll practice our sun salutation a few times, practicing maybe if you need a refresher. If you've been doing this for several years, practice your breathing in rhythm with your movement. Arms up with your breath in. Look up. Get taller. Fold, exhale. Bend your knees. Let all your air out. Your head's completely down. Then inhale, flat back, come halfway up. Long spine extends to the ceiling, or the front of the room rather. And let your head fall. Take your time with your transitions, hands to the mat. Walk your feet back to plank, one at a time, or little baby steps to get yourself there. Pause in your plank. Straight bodies. We'll take our knees down. Elbows stay close as you lower like a push-up all the way down. Belly flat, legs straight. Body flat on the ground, tops of the feet flat. Squeeze your legs like a tail. Lift your upper body to your back bend a little bit, or maybe all the way upward facing dog. Shoulders out of the ears. Lift your heart. Look up. And hips back, child's pose. Knees can be wide. Feel free to pad up your knees if you have a pad, or double up your mat. Everyone looks beautiful. Forehead's down. Hips towards the heels. Remember, knees can be wide, just big toes close. Let your heart sink down to the floor. 3 breaths. String them together. Ripple your spine. Wave up to a table shape. Practice your transition coming up to your feet. Tucking your toes. Stepping up to the front. Baby steps or a couple steps. Forward fold. Stay low. Keep your head low. Hanging exhale. And root down your feet. Come up slow. Stand up tall. Reach up high. Heart up. Reach up. Look up. Breathe. And fold. Exhale. Flat back. Breathe. Fold. Let it go. Take your time. Get your hands to the mat. Decide if you're taking 2 steps, 10 steps. Go back to plank. Building strength every time. Knees down. Let your elbows be close as you lower to the floor and set yourself up for your back bend. Strong legs. Squeeze together. Lift the heart. Breathe. And child's pose. Exhale. Stretch out. Head down. Practice your breathing, practice your meditation skills. Never has to be fancy. You sitting in a really quiet room, alone on a pillow. It's good to practice in the event you're a little discombobulated. You need to regroup, recenter. Feel the floor beneath you. Feel the good energy around you. Fill up with good oxygen. Get the stale air out. I can always help you with alignment, but the mental side's your job. Wave up the table. Do your best. If your mind darts away, just feel your fingers on the mat. We're going to transition back to your forward fold. Do your best to keep your head low as you tuck your toes. 2 steps or 10 steps up to your hands. Forward fold. Get yourself grounded. Feel good about your feet. Root down, rise all the way up. Deep breath in, reach up high. We're going to go through one more time. Go with your breath. Fill up. Take another sip of air at the top. And then fold, exhale. Flat back, shoulder squeeze, long neck. Fold, let it go. Plant your hands, feet back to plank. Feel good about your plank. Knees down, heart down. Breathe out. And then back bend, lift up. Breathe in. Child's pose, exhale. Hips down towards the heels, resting on the heels, relaxed on the heels. You get a nice big hinge at the hips. Knees are super bent. The blood has to work hard to get through that joint. Armpits stretch towards the ground. Belly melts down. Heart melts down. If your forehead's down, you could gently rock it side to side, massaging that space in between your eyebrows. Massaging your intuition, your self-awareness. Soothing yourself. You came here, help yourself feel a little better, your body and mind. Enjoy it. Wave up to your table shape. We'll hang out here. Do cat and cow pose as you lift the chin, lift the tailbone, flowing with the breath as you round up and under. As if you were in a little tight space, there was a ceiling right above your back. And when you go up to your cat pose, you try and touch your ceiling up to, or touch your spine up to the ceiling. And if there was a ball underneath your belly, as you go to your cow pose and let your belly sink down. Maybe your ribs touch that ball. Do your best. Don't jip yourself. You probably haven't done this position yet today. Moving your spine, relaxed environment, breathing, sending love to all those energy centers. Keep flowing, a couple more. If you want to manipulate your spine the same way we did in bridge, where you start with the tailbone and wave up. And then you could always start with the tailbone and wave back. Take care of those wrists. And if you pause back at center, you can look over your right and left shoulder, sticking your hip out the opposite way. Getting your spine to make that crescent moon shape here. And last few breaths. If you want to tuck your toes and get a little extra stretch in your feet, you can tuck your toes under. Make sure the pinky toe got to be tucked under too. And some organic movements in your tabletop, hitting all those points. Maybe you just wiggle, wag your tail, move your shoulders. I like to think of the jump rope where you hit all the spots. You make your spine do a jump rope motion, a barrel motion. Alrighty, my friends, your practice, your transition back up to your forward fold. Tuck your toes if they're not already. Lift your knees. Take a couple steps up to the top. Forward fold. Keep your head low. We'll hang here a couple extra breaths. If you have blocks, maybe bring the floor up a little closer to your hands. You don't have to reach down. Even flexy bendy people, it's nice to have a block so your elbows can have some slack, your shoulders can have some slack. You can always bend your knees so much that you create that slack by touching the ground. Look towards your belly button. As much as you can keep that lock, that throat lock as you look towards your belly, opening the back of your neck. Keep weight in your toes. Let's sway a little. You can walk your hands over to the right or move the blocks with you. Walk your hands over to the left. Keep your chin down, the top of your head towards the floor. Relax the back of your neck. Last chance. If you're holding up your head, let it go. Your neck held up your head all day. We could be totally upside down. That would be ideal, but halfway is good enough. Even out the weight in your feet. Root down and rise up slow. You can keep your chin down and roll your spine up one vertebrae at a time. Tuck in your hips when you get to that part. Heart lifts up eventually. Shoulders roll back. Arms by your side. Mountain pose. So the sunshine rays, lift the arms up by your side, all the way up to the sky. Touch your palms at the top, arms by your ears. Squeeze your bicep to your ears. Squeeze it as tight as you can. Squeeze your butt cheeks together. Lean over to the right, crescent moon. Find a spot on the wall, look forward, breathe. Root down that right foot a little bit more. Left hip sticks out a little. One last breath, one last arc over. Back to center, readjust. Squeeze the arms by the ears. Actively squeeze, we won't be here too long. Squeeze the legs over to the left. Pause where it feels good. So if you were at 12 o'clock, it's okay if you only went 5 minutes. You're in good alignment, weights in your left foot and your right big toe. Don't totally pick up the right. Another breath. You guys look great. Right hip might stick out a little extra as you make the arc a little bit more. And back up to center. Breathe in, arms by your side, mountain pose. Let the blood flow up and down. Breath comes in and out. Hands to your hearts. Press your palms together. Breathe. Radiate some good energy. Pick up your right foot. Balance for a moment and step it back to warrior one. You can stay right here. Feel free to add your arms if you wish. Right toes towards the right corner of your mat. Bend your left knee. Same as always in practice. If things kind of are coming easier to you as you practice more and more, tune more into the breath. Squaring the hips forward, the right hips and glutes a little extra strong. Shoulders shining forward if that right shoulder's back a little bit. See if you can clock it up to the front. Big stretch in your legs. If you could be here all day, maybe you want to widen your stance. Bend a little bit more into the left knee. Fill up your lungs. Keep your belly pulling in. Complete inhale, complete exhale. Look up, reach up, palms together, bring them down towards your heart. See if you can go up to a balance as the right leg comes forward, balancing for a moment, and then stand tall, mountain pose, breathe. These little pauses are almost more important than the poses. Hands to your heart. Breathe. Pick up your left foot. See if you can balance for a moment. Maybe you lose your balance and you tap and you try again before you step back to your warrior one. Left foot back, left toes towards the left corner. Make sure if you glance down, your heels would be on a tightrope or on railroad tracks, not twisted the opposite way. Always your choice how you want your arms. Left hip clocking forward, left shoulder clocking forward, left glute a little extra strong. Breathing in, maybe you close your eyes and see about your balance. Take an inhale as you look up. Hands to your heart. Practice balancing as you shift your weight back to the top of your mat. Your left knee might come up for a moment and then step down. Arms down by your side, mountain pose. There's little breathers in between, a little bit of discipline. Try to be still. And almost always you're shifting your weight in your feet. You can try and settle it out. Find a moment where you're almost balanced. You don't have to work as hard. Everything's just stacked. And the hard part gives you a chance to screenshot where your mind is. If it's in the past, bring it back here in the room. If you're worrying about the future, worried about it at 7:31. You're let off the hook till then. Your mind can be free. Hands to your heart, press them together. My teacher always has her palms open outward if she has some extra energy. Or you can close your palms and give your heart a little hug, absorbing the extra energy from around you. We're going to take a big step back with the right leg. Find your warrior two. Get your arms out to T once you get your legs settled. Bigger bend in the left knee. If you feel like you could stand here all day, we'll just be here for 5 breaths. Relax your shoulders. Squeeze your fingers together, engage your upper arms. Belly button in, breathing, filling the lungs. That's the work, that's the movement. The breath in, the breath out. Opening that left knee, getting a nice open hip stretch as you breathe in and out. We all could benefit by peeking back. Look at your right arm, see if it fell down, and pick it back up in line. And bring your hands back to your heart. Straighten the left leg. Turn the left toes in so you're facing and everything's turned towards me. Maybe bend your knees a little as you hinge at the hips. fold down, get your hands down when you get there. If you want to move blocks underneath your hands, that might work. Pigeon toe your toes in. Let your head fall for this breath in your straddle fold. And you'll walk your hands out a few inches. Get the right hand underneath your face. Twist open to the left as the left arm comes up. You can always bend your knees so you can twist your upper spine. Look down, left hand down, right hand opens up. Find the twist. Palm open towards the back of the room. And then left hand down, try it again, each side. Right hand down, left hand up. Palm would give a high five to the front wall. Look down, left hand down, right hand up. You would high five the windows in the back of the room. We're gonna have to go over what high fives are. Bring your hand down, straddle fold, shake out your head a little bit, weight in your toes a little bit more. Breathe. Love, love, love taking advantage of being upside down. Decompress your spine against gravity. Take your time, take your toes out, bend your knees a lot. You'll come up to a wide squat. Elbows or forearms can be on your knees. You can stay low to start. And twist your shoulders and press your shoulders down as you find a little bit more twisting and opening up. Yep, should feel good. Yep, press the shoulder. You can look the opposite way. You got it. Remember the stretches, the poses, movements that feel the juiciest. Do it more often. Take your time, find a cat back as you round up, and then maybe you find a cow back as you back bend your back in that squat, and find cat and cow a few times with your knees bent. Yep. Five-pointed star, stand up tall, reach those arms out, turn the toes back in, straight legs. Trying to take up as much space as you can. Fingernails reach out, head lifts up. Breathe. And arms can relax. Turn the left toes back to the front. Spring yourself back up to the top of your mat, standing tall. Mountain pose. Feel your toes. Press your hands to your heart. And big step back with the left leg. Warrior two. Set your feet up. Big bend in the right knee. Arms out to T. The strongest arms you got. Squeeze your fingers as if you're doing a bicep curl. Your upper arms get just as strong. Open that right knee, breathing, relax your shoulders. If you feel your spine angled forward at all, see if you can stack it right on top of the hips. Everybody's breathing, hips are opening. One of the last strenuous things we'll do tonight. Do your best, breathe. Double check that back arm didn't fall down. And your hands can go back to your heart. You'll bend your left knee to spring back to the original front, standing tall. Arms by your side. Big sunshine rays. Take the arms up, back bend at the top. All the air's in. And fold, exhale. Hang in your fold. Last time tonight. Maybe just shake your head no. Let the shoulders relax. If you have some flexibility in your legs, you could bend one knee at a time, shifting your hips a little. As if your legs would be scissors, going side to side as your knees bend, your hips move a little bit, making sure any pent up energy in there is out for your midweek stretch tonight. We're going down to our back body, laying down. Transition the best way you can. Maybe just bend your knees, brace your tailbone, sit on down. You have the option to get yourself there, swing your legs around, space yourself out on your mat so you can be comfortable. All warmed up from your practice. They're a little bit more heated up internally. Notice any changes from the beginning of class. Make a little mental note. Sometimes tough to get yourself to do the healthy things, what you know is best for yourself. So if you can remember the good feelings that come of it, that might help push you a little next time. Hug in that right knee, squeeze it in. You can get another millimeter or more squeeze now that we've moved. It's minor, but it's great for your knee. If you peek up and you can actually see your right ankle, move it behind your thigh so you can't see your foot anymore. Then let your head go back down if you've popped it up. Chin's in, pulling that knee in. A lot of times your ankle will go on the inside, and then your knees get in that little tweak of a stretch. So it's good if the ankle's right in line. Going for a twist, my friends. Right arm out to T. Look to the right. Twist your knee over to the left. Rinse out. Maybe get a little alignment out of it. If you have blocks, you can put blocks underneath your right foot or right knee over there. If your foot's kind of hanging in the sky, you can put it on the inside of your left knee. It's always good to create that support underneath your body so your mind doesn't think you're hanging off a cliff. So you found the position, you're in it, it is what it is today. Relax the muscles, melt a little, breathe, let your body twist. Use the exhale to get a little bit more out of it. One more big breath in and out. Unwind, find that full body stretch. You twisted, created a dam. Now you're straight for a moment, breathing, and then hugging the left knee as we go to the other side. Squeeze it in, up towards the shoulders. Shoulders and arms stay even. Heads down, chins in for the pose. If you want to check your alignment, just peek up, make sure you can't see your left ankle. If you can see it, you probably move it out to the left a little. Squeeze, 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 pull. Big rock muscles, you can pull. And get ready for your twist as your left arm goes out to the left. Look to the left, twist to the right. Find that sweet spot. Give yourself a breath or two to settle in. Figure out if you need a block, if you're going to put your foot on the inside of the knee for some support. You could put your hand on the outside of your thigh for a little extra pressure. And as you hold the pose and breathe, you can scan your body. Notice if you might be holding your foot tight for no reason. Maybe your forehead has an expression that's unnecessary. We hold a lot of tension in our shoulders and in our eye sockets. Those body parts aren't doing much. They can relax and let gravity. One more big breath in and out. And unwind, untwist. Lay flat on the ground. We'll do reclined butterfly as we slide our heels up towards our center. Let your knees go wide. You only have to slide up as much as it feels okay. If you have two blocks, you can put them underneath your knees. If any position doesn't feel great for you tonight, you can always skip it or do something instead. Making our snow angels with our arms going all the way up. Find cactus arms. If the tops of your hands can't touch the ground yet, just find that angle so your whole arm can be heavy on the floor. Breathing steady. If your lower ribs are lifting up to the ceiling, see if you can relax them down. Belly's relaxed. Notice how your hips feel. Notice how high up your knees are. And slide your left leg straight for a reclined tree. So the right knee will stay bent out to the side. The left leg will go straight like your tree trunk. And most likely that right knee will get to relax a little bit more. You might even be able to slide it up towards your center a little more. For this pose, maybe bring some attention to that left ankle, flexing it, strong trunk, chins in, neck's long. Just getting a little extra out of that right side. Breathe in and out. Slide your left heel back up, finding that butterfly. You might have to reposition, find that spot for both, and then slide the right leg straight, finding reclined tree on this side. Left knee goes out, probably falls a little bit more than you had. Right leg strong, sturdy, ankle flexed. You have the alignment of the floor and gravity creating the perfect pose for you. Relax your face, take a breath. Slide your right heel back up. Just a couple minutes of stretching, couple minutes of meditation, couple minutes of relaxing your nervous system. Your body might have let your hips open just a little bit more. And as you're ready, finding your resting pose, you can slide your heels down, maybe get them a little wider. There's tons of options. You could have your heels close, let your feet flop open. You could have your feet wide, let your legs be open. You can keep your arms where they were, or any angle coming down by your side. Some of you might want to bend your knees and put your feet on the ground. Let your knees knock in towards each other so your lower back can be flat. Everybody's collarbones melt down. Close your eyes. Turn off all the senses you can. Get as heavy as you can. The word of the day is adapt. As we flow along, adapting, adjusting, being flexible. Give your body love, let it go. Give your mind love, let it go. Enjoy this time. Let everything go. Stay still. Breathe deeply for your first movement. Then your feet. Then your fingers. And then your face. Moving slow. Waken your body up intentionally. Let your head go side to side. You can move your legs and arms. Let yourself roll over to one side. Bend your knees. You can use your bottom arm as a pillow. Get heavy. Think of a positive word that'll help you get through till the next time we meet. Maybe adapting and flowing along the way. Take a deep breath, press yourself up, find a seated position. A little cat and cow in your hips. A little cat and cow for your spine. A little movement for your shoulders. Swirl your rib cage, swirl it up, feeling good. Always glad when you make time for your mat. Sitting up tall, reach up high together. Reach with the right little bit more, a little bit more at the left. Look up, palms together, bring it all down. Lovely practice, my friends. Bow forward, peace and love. Take your time. If you missed the sign in attendance, please sign in. If you missed the paper to fill out, please do so. And I'll see you next week. You're welcome.